video of the week, if not the whole year. And that is the Alabama dock brawl. But in case you missed it, here's how it all went down. It started on Saturday on the Montgomery riverfront dock, where they have restaurants and leisure activities and where boats, large and small, private and city-owned, can pull up. A black riverboat co-captain asked a group of white boaters to move their illegally parked pontoon so the Harriet II riverboat could dock. The Harriet II part is quite poetic, because before this was all one big leisure spot, the Montgomery riverboat was a major, massive slave port, which is going to feel ironic in a second. The pontoon group refused, and the argument turned violent when one of the white pontooners charged and swung at the black employee, who proceeded to throw his hat in the air, Bobby Shmurda style, and fight back. He was quickly outnumbered, and the group of white shirtless boaters all started piling on him. Well, it wasn't long before black onlookers came rushing to the co-captain's defense from seemingly everywhere, like he'd thrown up a bat signal to the ancestors, maybe Harriet Tubman herself. One teenage member of the Wakanda Avengers even jumped off the Harriet II and swam to the dock to join in, earning him endless nicknames online, including Michael B. Phelps and Aquaman. It was then that an all-out brawl ensued. Video shows men and women punching, shoving, kicking. One uncle even grabbed a folding chair to hit back, while spectators cheered them on from the sidelines until the police came to break it up. Today, we learned that 3 of those white men who attacked the riverboat co-captain are facing misdemeanor assault charges. And the story has taken on a life of its own. Memes surrounding the Montgomery mayhem have taken over social media. Folding lawn chairs have been dubbed freedom chairs, hat tip Brittany Cunningham. Folks are writing songs and odes to the day a group of Alabama bullies on a boat tried it in a small town. Some are even creating their own dramatic reenactments at their local pool. Not to mention there's a hashtag trending called Lift Every Chair and Swing. Joining me now is the mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, Stephen Reed, and Michael Harriet, columnist for the Griot, host of the Griot Daily Podcast and author of Black AF History. Thank you both for being here. Mr. Mayor, I do want to start with you. Give us an update, please, on the arrests and whether all of those who are going to be charged have turned themselves in.
First, Joy, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the work that you and your staff do each and every day. Big fan and follow both you and Michael. You know, so far in this, we've had one person that is in the custody of law enforcement, 2 others who are not at this time. They've not been cooperative, and so we will have to take probably some extra measures to deal with them. But that's where we are right now. The investigation is still ongoing as we try to sort out fact from fiction and try to go through the process that's led us to bring about 3rd-degree assault charges on these perpetrators and what may be more charges still to come.
And let's just sort of be clear. I mean, let's talk about the atmosphere in Montgomery in the 24 hours before. Donald Trump did a Trump rally. He did a rally in Montgomery about 24 hours before this. What was kind of the atmosphere in the city after he was gone? Because we know statistically, hate crimes, violence tend to go up when Trump comes to town.
Yeah, you know, I don't think that having the former president here helped anything as it relates to his rhetoric and the action that he has taken. I don't think that helps discourse. I don't think it helps the environment overall when you consider what's happening in Alabama this time with our state legislature rejecting the Supreme Court's order to draw a 2nd congressional district. There's a lot of tension in the air right now politically. And I don't think having former President Trump here helped anything. And I think some people can get a little too caught up in what they see online. I think some people can get caught up in terms of what they're reading, what they're hearing from, you know, their friends in their immediate circle, and may take things a different way than maybe others would.
And one more question is, these are misdemeanor assault charges that these men are facing. What about hate crime charges? I mean, these were, multiple 6, 7 white men who jumped one black man who was just doing his job.
Yeah, based on the information that we have as of now from the FBI, it does not meet their criteria. But we're working very closely with the FBI. We have asked witnesses to provide us with more information and testimony as well. So, you know, this is fluid and things can change But as of now, we don't have enough evidence to move forward with that in our conversations with the FBI. But again, we're going to continue to work very closely with law enforcement. We're going to be very intense in our approach to this. We realize the magnitude of what took place, and I saw what you all saw and what millions of other people saw, and that's disturbing.
Michael, Harriet, why do you think this has resonated the way it has?
Well, we saw this on the same internet that we saw, the Karen trend. We saw white people, call the police on bird watchers and fishers. And so I think the joy comes from, it was a rare example and an explicit example of justice, right? Like people, getting what they were looking for, finding out after they messed around. And so I think that was part of it. And I think, we're in a country where we consume news about, history being erased. And, are the people in Alabama going to be able to be represented in Congress? And all of that creates that kind of, and Trump was there the day before, right? And so when you think about all of that and what we consume on a platform, this went viral on Twitter, a platform that we know that hate speech has gone up since the purchaser purchased it, right? All of that contributes to the joy that, in America, black people seeing a real example of justice is rare, right? It's like Jesus turning water into Crown Royal or, so we celebrated those rare instances, and I think there was a little bit of joy in that.
You did a great piece that I highly recommend on the Griot interviewing the ancestors, including Harriet Tubman, who I know jumped out that water with that 16-year-old heroic boy who came to the rescue. But, I feel like the other piece of this has been the incredible expression of Black creativity. Black Twitter was in its finest hour. And the creativity that you've seen across platforms, whether it's on TikTok or Instagram, the memes, Michael, these are historic, and so is that folding chair.
Yeah, I think we should, I really think we don't have an August holiday. So how about, Thanksgiving, right? I think, the brawl, the brawl in Alabama, should be Black people's Labor Day. I really feel like that. And we should just gather and have like a new Freaknik on the shore in Montgomery. And I lived most of my adult life, near Montgomery, or, I went to college in Auburn and lived in Birmingham. So I think this should be our new Juneteenth. We should have August 10th right there in Montgomery.
Mr. Mayor, can we have
everybody bring their own things?
Well, you spell your last name different from mine, but we might be cousins since you're a Reed. So can we do it?
We have to ask our folks in the Alabama legislature to see if we can get that done. See what they think.
Come on, Cousin Reed. Let's do this. We'll work on our last name spelling, but we're cousins by, we're family.
Right.
Montgomery, Alabama Mayor Stephen Reed, REED, and Michael Harriet of the Griot. Thank you both. Much appreciated.